Welcome to Marketplace Live. Let's defy gravity.
Hello and welcome to another session of today's virtual global Marketplace Live 2020. Really excited to be joining you with our next Asia Pacific session and really excited today to be speaking to a good friend and a very close partner to the company, Naoki Shibata, joining us live from Tokyo, Japan. Shibata-san, welcome.
Thank you for introducing Omar-san. Thank you for inviting this session. I'm pleased to join this session as a HPC service provider with Virtual Reality today. So, firstly, can I introduce myself first?
Please, Shibata-san.
Okay. So, my name is Naoki Shibata. It's founder, CEO, and HPC architect for the Xtreme-D and Xtreme-D America Inc. So, the company established 5 years ago as a headquartered in Tokyo. So Japan, so back to myself, I have over 20 years of career with HPC and supercomputer technology architect, worked at the supercomputer vendors, so HPE, Microsoft, and IBM, and Cray. And some are, Xtreme-D is provided to system software as a service for HPC, AI, data analytics, plus subscription-based managed supercomputer infrastructure as a service with Digital Reality as a startup company. The name, our service name is Xtreme-D Axel. Okay, Omar-san.
Excellent intro, Shibata-san. Thank you very much. Really helpful. And so again, just to reiterate how exciting it is to have you join us today. So as you know, it's the crossroads for the digital world, and this year we've got a fully virtual Marketplace Live, and our concept is the idea of defying gravity. And as you know, we recently launched the Data Gravity Index, and Tokyo is #1 for the Asia Pacific region in terms of its data gravity score, which is really exciting. And obviously such a key data hub for the region. Very relevant to your, and obviously as an entrepreneur and a founder and somebody driving technology growth, specifically in your area, I think it'll be very interesting for the listeners to understand how should we define high performance computing? And secondary, why is it growing so much? Why is the demand so strong?
Okay, so we can describe it two ways. So the first one is a real-time computation. This is mainly for the R&D and the real-time simulation, such as the weather forecast analysis and the forecasting stock price and something. For R&D users, mainly who there are some virtual prototyping and massive scale CG rendering and something. And the second one is AI data analytics for data that is saving the PC, the huge data on that from the outside of the desktop. The second one is the must-to-have solution for the data analytics for the machine learning and deep learning, as every company every industry needed to it at the moment. So as today, in mainly for Japan HPC market.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Shibata-san. I think that will help a lot of people understand the importance of high performance computing and also how it's driving and developing forward. Next question then, sort of building on that, how do you see another big trend, a mega trend really, that's encapsulating the world at the moment, artificial intelligence? How do you see AI and HPC converging together?
Okay, so they both needed super extreme balance of the computing power, I/O performance. Is the network performance very important? But it's not. It's straightforward to keep the balance. It's very difficult to make it. So we consider that the AI and HPC needed to sustain services and infrastructure is very important. Of course, it including some need to the right solution for the features for the data gravity, including data gravity solution. The many others Japanese enterprise customers started considering about this.
Excellent, excellent, understood. Clearly, two areas that are almost driving their growth together. Obviously, HPC being needed, as you say, for AI, and the underlying data analytics and crunching that AI and machine learning requires. So a little bit going into more detail, and with your own experience, and as Xtreme-D is growing, across the world, what types of customers and industries are you seeing benefiting the best and most from HPC at the moment?
Okay, so now some of our customers mainly for the Japan and the US market, so are mainly for the customers for the manufacturing, the bio and the life science industry are using for the traditional HPC workload. So for a new market, every industry, the finance, distribution industries are studying using the AI data analytics for maybe using the machine learning, the deep learning solution. So also the medical image analysis is very unique and so new the market for the new workload for the HPC and supercomputing market. Is also are the large scale of the CG rendering solution for the entertainment companies, for example, gaming company, and some CG rendering for industrial, some design company, including some the automotive company is fitting for the 8K the image making is a very needs huge the computing power as for the company. So starting using the HPC platform is, I think, very expanding to some of the market is at the moment in the Japan, the United States, also the Asia Pacific area.
Excellent, really, really helpful. I think you're best placed to summarize the industries you're seeing, not just in Japan, but obviously the other markets like North America, where your solution and offering is now starting to grow quickly. So, as you know, as I mentioned, Defying Gravity is the Marketplace Live 2020 theme, driven by our data gravity index, and the concept of defying gravity is very strong. From your perspective, how is HPC able to break through data gravity barriers?
Okay, so I think it's a very good question. So I will propose to this opinion for each industries for a CIO class. So the barrier is many other some company is designing system for each application as usual. Some system for the data analytics, some system for the computational environment. This is not make sense, right? The need the data centralizing and some need to the unified supercomputing plus data lake architecture for fitting for the using for the data center is very important for some through for the data gravity barriers, right? So many others CIO is thinking about some traditional IT environment. So now there are some aging or some many other some infrastructure is located the data center is far from the customer side. So I think the need to making as a new architecture for and including unified is very important keyword for the making the good solution for the fitting for the data gravity and some AI data analytics solution at the moment, I think.
Excellent. And I think that ties in nicely with what we're finding with the index report and what we're seeing with Tokyo, especially as such a key metro. So a little bit tied to that question, and based on how you're growing, and also obviously very, very thankful and happy to continue your growth with digital realty data centers. But what is the optimal environment for you to build a supercomputer infrastructure? Because I don't think people are too aware on the difficulties associated with building the infrastructure?
Okay, so the answer is very simple. The answer is stable. Stable meaning is stable security, facilities, power, and the network, and the packaging as our infrastructure as a service, only management service for understanding infra mechanisms by the users. So stable is very important. Some customers is every day to worry about the securities and some of the speed for the network, and there's some data center costs and the security and something, right? So we need to we need to propose a stable environment, very important for including we are selecting to the right data center to the customer for the making it a very good solution for including some good solution for the data gravity and the hyperforce computing.
Excellent. No, really helpful. And in the environment, the stable platform to growth, I think makes a lot of sense. So how, obviously, you're Tokyo-based, growing quickly across the rest of the world. What makes Japan unique? And maybe not just Tokyo, but Osaka, but obviously Tokyo is so high on the index. But why Japan? Why is it so relevant for data centers?
Yes, I think that we can easy to provide the stable environment based on Japan. As the stable is meaning is my last answer to the last question, right? So someone is sometimes worried about earthquake is a risk in Japan, but all construction in Japan is 100% is state making as our feeling for the earthquake, right? So we can easy to making is our of course the Xtreme-D is also the infrastructure service is the main compute is a service is provided service from the Japan data center right now. So I think the meaning is we can easy to prepare and easy to provide a stable environment with a Japanese location is our answer. But also that we can prepare is outside the Japan data center already, of course with the digital reality, but Japan is one of the very good solution for easy to provide it to some fitting for the customers environment for the large enterprise customer.
Excellent, really helpful. And maybe one last additional question I'm gonna throw in there. So you mentioned Japan, you mentioned North America. What's next for Xtreme-D in terms of growth? Are you looking at other regions, other industries, other sectors? What's next for Xtreme?
Okay. So now our infrastructure as a service start from the digital reality data center in Japan first. Now I mentioned already we are already starting the project for the Virginia State for the United States for collaborative working with the digital reality in America. So also the third thing is Xtreme-D is our Asia Pacific company. So we consider to expand into Singapore is very good location. So the many major subsidiary for the enterprise customers, or including fintech customers, manufacturing customers, R&D subsidiary for the United States is located in Singapore, right? So we would like to expand into Singapore as a third data lake base for the. Of course, we need to discuss with digital reality side.
Always happy to support, Shibata-san, and great to see your growth continue as in the sector. So I think we're coming up to the end of our slot. It's been, I think, a really interesting discussion and teaser for people to find out more about high performance computing, obviously yourselves. So sort of a few final words and thoughts, and also if people want to get more information, what's the best way to find out about Xtreme-D?
Okay. So if any question is we need to discuss with your company for some about some high-performance computing and the AI deep learning solution using supercomputing, need to, for example, direct meeting needed, please let us know so we can set as an online virtual talk and individually for each other. So please ask to be our contact form in our corporate website, xtreme-d.net/en is English homepage for of us. And if awesome today so you listen to the Japanese customers, so directly access to the Japanese language for the xtreme-d.net is easy to checking our more detailed information, and also our contact form, the Japanese version, is also available.
Excellent. And for those viewing and listening on the platform, you'll be able to see a few download options, including the case study we produced jointly with Xtreme-D. You can download in English and Japanese, and also some product brochures and flyers available to download on the platform window as well now. But with that, it leaves for me to say arigatou gozaimasu, Shibata-san.
Yeah. And some
Appreciate your time.
customers, if any questions, please contact Omar. He's a very good person for the support for the Xtreme-D. Thank you.
Thank you. Arigato, Shibata-san, and have a great day. Thank you for joining our virtual Marketplace Live 2020. Thank you for defying gravity, and thank you for being such an important technology company pioneering new developments in high-performance computing. So thank you, Shibata-san. Speak to you very soon. Be safe.
Yeah, thank you. So thanks again for listening to this session today. Thank you.
Thank you. And everybody, listeners, thank you. Please continue to join us today through our Marketplace Live agenda. A lot more great content coming up. Stay safe, stay well.